Hey, it's Jim, and I want to talk with you about some Fiverr arbitrage ideas for 2021. So let's get going. The first idea that I have for you is really more of a suggestion. So I'm going to get to the ideas in just a second, but I'm looking around at the different products that are for sale on different marketplaces. I'm looking at the videos and stuff I see coming up on YouTube, and of course, those are things that are related to channels I visit and that kind of thing. But this may be happening to you as well. There are a lot of really complicated things going on out there, and I see these products, and it's just like the most complicated way to I shouldn't say the most, but complicated ways to do stuff, right? How to get your first 1,000 subscribers, and all these different things, and it's like there's 100 different steps, and there's like different things, YouTube Shorts, and all these different things that you should be trying and doing, and so my suggestion would be just simplify, right? So you know this is just a business, and the things I'm going to talk about here in a second are business ideas. They're things that you can help local businesses with no matter where you live in the world. And, you know, the whole point of these isn't to make it complicated, right? The life of business people right now is terribly complicated, and they're bombarded with, more complications, right? SEO and getting ranked and Google My Business and all these different things, and so my suggestions are going to be basically going in and helping them out where they're already at. But I just want to kind of start off with that whole thing about just keeping it simple. And so you're going to see how simple this is, right? You'll probably, maybe even think it's too simple to work, but I would suggest that you just try and see for yourself. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to local businesses, right? And we don't have to actually go physically to them. It's COVID right now and stuff. And maybe you don't want to go out anyway. Maybe you want to sell this in a place of the world that you don't live, or that kind of thing. Well, all we have to do is use like the simple way to do this is just Facebook groups, right? So as you know, just about every town of any size around the world have local community buy, sell, trade type groups, right? And some have like business development and networking groups. There's different kinds of groups, but most of these buy, sell, trade groups are really flexible in terms of, as long as you're not pitching stuff constantly every day and, being scummy about it and stuff, like you can basically put an idea out there and say, hey, try this. And so that's what we're, essentially going to do here. And what we're going to offer is something really, really simple. And like I said before, we're going to go to the businesses where they're at right now. So, at least in my community. So this does, this is a suggestion, the thing I'm going to walk you through right now. Go where your local businesses are at in terms of, what they're doing for marketing and stuff. So one of the things that's, whether it's good or not, whether it works or not, let's just push that aside. I don't care, right? A lot of local businesses where I live advertise in magazines, right? Maybe it's just because there's a lot of good, ad salesmen out there, whatever. Doesn't really matter. The fact of life is that, every new magazine that comes out is filled with ads, right, from local businesses. And so what we're going to do is basically offer an ad design service, right? And so, we don't even have to like set up a big website and, have a ton of, again, we don't have to make this complicated, right? It's great if you have a website. You don't have to like write 10 pages about this and, put pricing up and all of that stuff, because we're just going to work person to person, right? So all we have to do is basically go over here to a couple of these groups on Facebook, and like once or maybe twice a week, Write a simple, very simple post. So let's think about what we want to say on it. How about, let me know, or how about this? Do you need help designing your magazine ad? Question mark. If so, I can help, and I'm offering a special for new customers, right? You can even put the price there. Make it $25 or whatever, right? Then you're going to get comment below if you need help, right? So that's basically your whole post. Super simple. 1 or 2 sentences, comment below if you need help. Then when people comment, then you basically just, maybe it's even worth saying in the ad, comment below if you need help and I'll message you, right? So that, you're not basically doing the exchange in the Facebook posts. So that's how I do it generally. It's just easier to message these folks. So you write this post. People are gonna, leave a comment like interested or whatever, right? And maybe they won't. So sometimes this is why you want to post a couple times a week, because sometimes you just don't get any traction with it. Doesn't mean that this service doesn't work. It's just something that you're going to have to put out there more than once. And this is like a new service you're adding to your arsenal that you're going to make money with, right? And so don't think about this as, oh great, I'm going to make $25, and if I don't make $25 on my first post, or $100 or whatever, my first time trying this, that this doesn't work. That's not how it is. The way this business works is just like anything else. Just like these people putting the ads in their magazines, it takes time, right? Not a single one of these magazines let you just post an ad for 1 week. Like all of those, the minimum is a year contract. I shouldn't say all, like I know, but I work with 3 in our local community, and almost every customer that they have advertising in those magazines is in a 3-year contract at least, and they're paying like $400 a month for those ads, for like a 1,500 by 1095 ad, right? So it's expensive, but you've got to be committed for the long haul, right? And this service you're providing is totally free to offer. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to know how to make these designs, because we're going to do Fiverr Arbitrage here. But you've got to be thinking about this as a long-term business, right? This is a new thing in your arsenal of products that you offer, and you may not get a new client the first time you post on Facebook, right? So that's why you want to be in a couple of different groups, and you just want to think about posting on a regular basis. Change up your posts, figure it out, as to what's kind of resonating with your community. Right. But so these banner ads are great. And, when I say banner ads, like that's what I'm searching for in Fiverr when I'm looking for the service provider, because you can basically kind of look through the search results. I'm looking at it on my page right now. I'm using a different screen capture thing right now, and it doesn't give me a way to switch between me and the screen. But, there's basically all these folks can create the ad for you, right? So you just kind of want to look through and find somebody good that's got 5-star rating and that kind of thing. Now, there's a couple of things about this type of service. Most of the time these ads are smaller than 1 page, right? So like I said, a common one that I work on is 1095 by 1500, and so, most of the time, like you're going to have a bar across the bottom that gives all the client info, right? Like maybe a picture of them and what their business is, and, the services they offer, and then their phone number. And then up above is going to be like a picture and a few words, right? Now, I'm kind of like, I like copywriting and stuff. So I actually, write a good headline and try to squeeze in some copy if if my clients will let me. Not all of them really are into the whole direct response copywriting stuff, and I don't care about the high pressure sales pitch. They just need an ad designed, so I'm happy to help them, and it's pretty easy to offer, right? So that's all we're doing. Now, a couple of things that you need to know about this. It's always a good idea to have a service provider in mind on Fiverr, right? The prices are different now. on Fiverr. It's not all $5, right? And the turnaround times are different too. So, if you need something turned around in 3 days, which, sometimes these ads are time sensitive, because they've forgotten about it, and now the magazine editor is hounding them because it's due by the end of the week. So you got to be aware of these things and kind of know what you're getting yourself into on Fiverr, right? So that you don't lose money, right? Because sometimes if you need to turn it around in 2 days, that's going to cost you $30 versus, the usual 15 or something like that. So those are all things to be aware of. And so, you've got to set your expectations accordingly with the customer. If they need it turned around by tomorrow and you're not really sure if you can do that, it's best to just tell them, right? Just tell them, no, that's not going to work, but we can help you for next month. So, those are things to keep in mind. The other thing you may have to do with regards to the providing this service is get some copy, right? Get some images, and you're going to have to know the size of the ad that they need designed. So they probably, if they've signed up with a magazine or whatever, are going to have an ad spec sheet that tells you the size for the different ads, and they'll know which ones they bought, right? If they don't know that, then do them a favor and go track down the magazine or whatever and find out for them. You can usually just look that up online and just get the name of it, the magazine. So you can kind of take care of that and then just confirm everything with them. And then once you have the ad ready, you're going to be able to send it to them. Now usually what they'll have you do is they'll just kind of like CC the publishing person from the magazine in their email to you, and or if they haven't, then just ask them to, and then that way you can just provide the ad directly to that person. And you may find that you'll get business from whoever locally owns that magazine, right? So that's happened to me, and they run into people. They kind of have a designer, but then they get busy, so they're bringing on some new clients, and they need a couple of ads done, or they know they need something better done than the usual. So she'll ask me if I'd like to take on that business, and I'll say sure, because sometimes it turns out that it's just a once-off ad, so this may be a situation where you only make $20 and you wave goodbye to that client and don't ever talk to them again. That's happened to me. But then sometimes, like, what I'll basically offer to them is, hey, it's a good idea to update your ad on a regular basis every month, right? And so like one of the things we do is, we try to make it seasonal. We try to make it related to the month. And then, over time, we can kind of reuse some ads over time, but you can basically get into a situation where you're getting a recurring monthly, like, hey, okay, I'll just design these for you, for whatever, $50 a month. And that's just going to be 12 ads. That's what you get. Just pay me every month, or you can pay me right now $300 and I'll do all 12 for you and just send them into the magazine. Those are different ways you can kind of position it. So it's a really nice foot in the door service, and it's super easy to offer, and it's kind of meeting the customers where they're at in terms of they're already marketing and advertising. This isn't complicated like trying to help them build a website. This isn't complicated like trying to, write a content, for their blog and stuff like that. I mean, those services are so hard to sell because you've got to actually show the value of that to, to the business if they're not already doing it, right? And so that stuff can be hard to uncover, but this method is so simple because so many businesses are already advertising locally in magazines, and they just could use a better ad, right? So you just put it out there in Facebook every once in a while, and run some sort of special offer on getting one ad, and then you basically try to bring them in the door for future ads. So that's a great arbitrage opportunity. It's totally old school, and it's 2021, and you know what? It works because there's tons of magazine advertisers out there. So, I mean, every community that has, 75 or 100,000 plus people has multiple magazines like this. So, you're talking to virtually every business that's got an actual marketing budget when you're doing this. So why don't I stop there? I hope you like it and I hope it works for you. Let me know down in the comments and let me know if you have any questions. And hey, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And, if it's not too much trouble, if you got some value out of this, please give me a like as well. And we'll see you next time. All right.